4 months ago, I packed my bags, said goodbye to my family, and moved halfway across the world all by myself to study engineering. Since then, living in a new country, figuring everything out by yourself teaches you a thing or two. So here are 5 things that I've learned over the last 4 months of living all by myself. Number 1. The discipline matters more when no one's watching. When I talk about discipline, I mean discipline in everything, whether that's your diet, whether that's your health, literally everything. Back when I used to be at home, if I was like eating too much or if I was not going to the gym, my mom would always call me out like, bro, you're getting fat, go to the gym. Right now, I live by myself. I have to figure out what I'm gonna eat all by myself. I have to go to so then you start to realize that, you know what? I should probably be managing everything better. Like, I should have discipline when it comes to my diet. I should learn to say no if someone's offering me a sweet, if someone's offering me that. Another thing is that when you like move across the world, your parents aren't watching you anymore, or like no one's keeping an eye on you. You're free to do whatever the hell you want. So in that case, I've noticed a lot of people who come from like different parts of the world to study. Some of them, actually not some, a lot of them end up getting into bad things such as like, drugs, cigarettes, smoking, whatever, right? That's not why your parents send you out here. And another thing is that you should have discipline to understand that your parents are spending a lot of money just to send you to be able to study abroad. So instead of like taking advantage of you being all alone, be disciplined and learn to say no to stuff that will probably harm you a lot in the future. An example that I can give you from myself is I came here and I was like 84 kgs, right? And I realized that, there's so much junk food, there's so much unhealthy food around that if I just continue eating whatever I want, I'm gonna become very fat. So what I decided is I'm gonna make a meal plan for myself, like a diet plan of what I can eat, what I can't eat, and I'm gonna stick to it. And I started going to the gym every single day, like 5 to 6 times a week. And ever since then, I swear to you, discipline has been through the roof. If I did not have that bit of discipline, I would probably be around 90 kgs right now. I'm 78 right now, but if I didn't realize that not going to the gym, not taking care of my diet, not being disciplined in general will lead to that consequence, I would have never fixed myself. So discipline is probably the most important thing that you can have if you're living all by yourself. Number 2, have a routine. When I first came to Canada all by myself, I had no routine. When I was living here in my dorms, that's my bed in the background if you can see, I was basically waking up whenever I wanted, no discipline, barely was studying, had no organization in my life. Now, at one point I realized it just can't go on for like this, because if it does, then my grades are screwed, my GPA is screwed, my everything's screwed, right? So I decided having a routine is the most important thing ever. Do the same tasks every single day at the same time. So I eat lunch and dinner at the same time every single day. I go to the gym at the same time every single day. Go to bed at more or less the same time every single day. Wake up at the same time every single day. When you start doing these things every single day at the same time, what that will do is it will automatically tell your consciousness it's time to do that. That way you build habits, and once you start building a routine, it's going to help you much more. The number one way I found to help me build my routine was to create a Google Calendar, because number one, completely free. Number two, it has notifications, so it will keep reminding you of what tasks you have next, and it basically allows you to be in charge of your time instead of your time being in charge of you, if that's how you say it. Number 3, dealing with problems. Dealing with problems sort of links with discipline because it's more or less the same concept, because when you don't have your family here and you run into a problem, you have to be able to solve that problem by yourself without, calling your family or calling your dad or your mom and asking them for their advice. I'm not saying that their advice is not going to be of course, anytime your parents are advising you on something, it is more or less going to be right. But what I'm trying to say is, if you don't learn to take decisions for yourself, if you don't become independent, you're forever going to end up relying on your parents, which is a bad thing, because you should be able to support yourself. You should be able to think and make decisions according to that. You don't have to rely on your parents. So let's say I run into a small problem with the bank or something like that. Instead of calling my dad and asking him, oh, what should I do now? Like step by step, what should I do now? I would just figure things out by myself, whether that's searching on Google, watching a YouTube video to fix things by myself. Any small problem that you run into, you have to be the one who's independently going to solve it. You don't have to turn back to your parents for everything. Now, that is one of the most important things that I've learned by living alone, is that you have to learn to deal with your problems by yourself, because your parents aren't going to be around forever to help you deal with your own problems. So at one point, you have to say, enough is enough. I like, all due respect to my parents, I have to be able to make this decision by myself without, always taking their consultation or anything. Like, I have to be, and even if you make the wrong decision, that's fine. It happens, because what that's going to do is that's going to teach you that, it's going to become an important lesson. So, for example, I had to take an important decision and I end up choosing the wrong choice out of the two, and that's just going to give me consequences. Now I have to learn to deal with those consequences and make sure that I don't repeat them for next time. That's probably one of the best decisions that you can make, is stop calling your parents for every small decision that you have to make, and instead just do it yourself. And if things go wrong, no problem. Like, you're going to come out of it anyways. But major decisions, I would say, obviously, yeah, consult with your parents, consult with other people, your friends and other people. But small decisions, you don't have to really call your parents and ask them, like, oh, should I do this? Should I do this? No point. Just take the decision by yourself. Number 4, taking things for granted. This one was a tough pill to swallow, because when I first came here, I didn't have my mom's cooking. I didn't have like all of those luxuries that I had back home when I was living with my family. For example, which I have to share a washroom over here in between, like a floor, a common washroom basically. Before coming to Canada from Dubai, I had my own washroom there. So I was just like, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do this? Now you learn that you used to take a lot of things for granted. You used to take your parents for granted. You used to take your bed for granted, because when everything is being provided to you and free of cost, like, you basically end up taking things for granted, because you think like, oh, it's here anyway, so might as well. But when you move out and you have to do everything by yourself, you have to earn money by yourself, you have to do everything by yourself, then you just value everything so much more than you used to back home. I think the number one thing for that would be my mom's cooking, because back at home, back when I lived with my parents in Dubai, I was just like, my mom's cooking, mom, what did you make today? Like, and if it was something that I didn't like, I would just be like, oh, like, why'd you make this? Like, wrong attitude, I know. But now, that same thing, I basically think to myself, and it's like, bro, I wish I had that. I really, really, really wish I had that. So it's just the small things in life that you used to have, small luxuries that you used to have back home, that you do not have anymore once you move out, that you really truly realize their value. Because again, as I mentioned, my mom's cooking, like making my bed. Okay, this might sound like, up until like year 11, so I think 2 years ago or 3 years ago, my mom used to make my bed. I never made my bed, and now I make it every single morning. Or like stuff like, just small things that your parents used to do for you that now you have to do for yourself. You realize that they used to do so much for you, and then you just took it for granted. So number one thing is, you learn that everything has value, so you have to become more gratitude. You have to show more gratitude to everything that you have in your life. And finally, lesson number 5. When you move out of your parents' home and you start doing things by yourself, you learn a lot. And when you just start randomly doing a lot of stuff, you learn your capabilities. Like, wow, I never thought I could do this. Wow, I never thought I could do this. You just get into the mindset of doing things that you never thought you could ever do, because they were done for you. So once you start doing them by yourself, it's an amazing feeling that, wow, I did this by myself. Wow. So like, I don't exactly know like what example I can give over here of this specific thing, but I can just tell you, like, you become so much more capable. Your work ethic increases. If of course you like try your best to improve yourself, you realize the value that your parents like used to send you abroad, whatever it may be. Like, everything changes for you. So you just learn like you're a much more capable person that you think you are, and you just start to achieve much more. Honestly, it's almost 5 months now that I've been like living alone by myself. Of course, I've made friends. It's just weird. Like, I never thought before when I was in year 12, year 13, that I could live alone all by myself without my parents' help, whatever. But now that I've been doing it, I don't regret it, because I've learned so much. It's been a truly life-changing decision. I've grown as a person. I've grown physically. I've grown mentally, because I've been going to the gym. Going to the gym is like the best thing ever. Like, I've become a gym right now. So I would highly recommend, if you don't go to the gym, go to the gym, please. Best thing ever. Anyways, yeah, that's about it. I mean, you just learn a lot. Like, you mature as a person. You become emotionally intelligent. You become like just become a better person. If of course you don't take everything that's given to you for granted. So I could give you an example of two people. One of like both coming from Dubai, both studying engineering. One ends up with the wrong group of people and starts to do vaping, starts smoking, starts doing weed, drugs, clubbing, partying, whatever, right? He doesn't study. While the other one is like realizes the value that his parents spent in getting him to another place, and he starts like doing other additional jobs, or like working on a business, studying really hard, going to the gym, all that. In the end, two of these people from the same background, one of them is going to become successful, and I really can't say for the other one, because if you're spending your entire time just partying, girls, drugs, stuff, it's gonna end up pretty bad, right? So please, if you're gonna go abroad, realize how much your parents are spending to send you abroad, and how much like the lessons I just told you in this video, you're gonna realize them very quickly when you start living by yourself for the first 3 or 4 months. So yeah, I mean, that's about it today's video. Check out two of these videos. I'll leave the link over here, and I'll see you with another video very soon. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Take care and bye bye.